Now, our fourth speaker is Professor Chapta Shinwari from Pakistan. He's a treasurer of ASA and vice chairman of World Commission on the Ethics of Scientific Knowledge and Technology in Pakistan. Now, he's on.
And the staff of ASA and CAST, we are really grateful to you. With this simple view, I would like to tell you what we were doing as Pakistan Academy of Sciences. So we have a National Crisis Center. We have all the data every hour that is updated. And as of today, world is more than 12 million. We are 241,000 patients, active patients, and almost half of them recovered, and our deaths are close to 5,000. So, but there is some good news that's coming down now. If you look at this on the corner, the number of patients reported daily is coming down. Yesterday, it was lower than it was 1 week before. And this shows our neighboring countries, and the dot shows the data that where we have a lot of patients around us in our neighboring countries. And because some of the countries, they need us, like Afghanistan, we cannot close the border. They need for food security. We have to help them, and we have to allow them to take food and all other things, and many refugees also. So we are really in a hotspot, Pakistan, and we are trying to overcome this. What activities we did through ASA platform, through IAP, we are involved in international liaison. We have several webinars. We also do some relief efforts because our country believes that we have our people will either die because of COVID or because of poverty. So this lockdown, smart lockdown, strict lockdown, we are debating all this. So we have relief efforts also for the community. Our fellows, they go and distribute food specifically to marginalized community and minorities like Christians and Hindus and those people that we have minorities. We go and give them food and other things when there is a lockdown. We are working with the government for policy because we believe that science is with and for the society. Like said by Nepal and others, we also work on traditional medicine. We have a council, National Council for TIP, of which I'm the president. We also work with the allopathic doctors and have integrated medicine kind of system. And then ethics, Pakistan Academy of Sciences has a strong footing as I work with the UNESCO COMEST, World Commission for Ethics in Science and Technology. So we work on that because this infodemic, social media, this terrible news that's coming out, that's a problem. So first of all, internationalization, one big thing that we did was on this open science debate that we have through UNESCO, IAP, we had a working group. So we are working on it, that how this all information specifically in this era of pandemic, how can we share knowledge? How can we share, papers, kits, and other things? So that is what we debating. We are preparing a document. It's almost ready and goes to the UNESCO, and then this will be shared with the globally. So that means then inclusive participation beyond the expertise, the society and other, equitable collaboration, and promoting cognitive justice. The glimpses that we had a relief efforts. We went to the countryside with really poor communities, and we tried to not only give them food, medicine, herbal medicine, the kits that they are having. This is all the herbal medicine that we give them. Specifically, we Muslim have a month of Ramadan when our people fast, and then we were having Easter during this time. So we were with the community so that they could celebrate their events. And so Pakistan Academy of Sciences, their fellows, basically did this relief effort. So for policy suggestion with the government, we believe that you cannot do science in isolation. It's very difficult to consume. It's very difficult to convey a message to the society in a simple word. So we believe that science should be with and for society, what we call a democratization of the science, or citizen science. So that is where we include inclusive society and sustainable development, and that leads us to responsible conduct of science. We engage the society We help them to translate it in simple words. We overcome this infodemic, this social media that portrays a very difficult picture and very wrong picture sometimes, specifically for treatment and other issues. So we work sort of a formal and informal education with the society. When we talk about the traditional medicine, sometimes some people will use a fiction, and how can it be will be helped? And we all know that there is no perfect treatment when there is a critical patient of COVID-19. So we know all the story of hydroxychloroquine and remdesivir and all this. Vitamin D lately, and there are some counterfeit drugs also. People misuse this information. So we try to the academy gives the real picture through social media, television, and other means to the society. Then there are some herbal treatments, like Madagascar did a very good example. That plant we have in our country also. So we are trying to have, we have very good collaboration with China, and we exchange material, we exchange knowledge, and that leads us to some good treatment, integrated medicine to the society that we are distributing through our national disaster system. This is a simple, because I want to be in time limit. What we know is that we have to work what we call it one health research. That is environment, animals and humans in harmony, and how can we work? Because these are mainly, I don't want to go into those detail that my other friends in the beginning, they had already explained it. So we need to work that, and we need to have overcome this myths and realities, rumors, communication, social media. So we scientists cannot sit alone, and we cannot watch only have the bad news coming in. And then finally, ethics, decision making, and helping policy makers to how to overcome all this crisis. What we did was, one very good thing that we did was, we helped the law enforcement agencies, police and other paramedical staff, when they interact with the society when there is a lockdown. So we trained them in biosafety, of the labs, that the material, how to dispose of, waste management and other things, and then biosecurity, that the labs, we should be very conscious of this pandemic that we are having. So in three ways that we work with the law enforcement agency, we train them that they should also keep a distance when they go to the mobs, where they stop people from going to the market and others. So that is where we had a very good webinar for one of our province, and we try to train them. And finally, taking disinformation and misinformation, how to engage society, how to have transparency. So that was one of our major kind of work, that we want to have the clearer picture, evidence-based, science-based picture to the society. So this is my earlier, one of my friend also said about climate change and human health. As I said, when we talk about pandemics and zoonotic diseases, the solutions lie in the nature. We have done something wrong with the nature, and the consequences are that we are facing problem. Specifically now that it goes to be airborne, we are worried that these small particles in the air, it may prolong for a long time. And recently, WHO also, today there was an article in an Indonesian newspaper about the problem that we may be facing due to, this, if it goes to airborne more quickly, we will have a lot of issues. So that is where we are also advocating climate change and One Health. Finally, lesson learned from pandemics and what we can do. We have to have science-led preparations, what kind of lockdowns, how to work, and then we have to act really quickly and follow science, precautionary approach, what we call it. We cannot afford lockdown for 2 years. We cannot keep our population shut down. So we really have to work hard. Third is test, test, and test. Ideally, we should test everybody, but poor countries, we cannot do it. So that's one thing. And then think globally and act locally. Global threats for, the global needs global collaboration. This is global problem, and we all have to work together. Very good words by Shrishta, my friend from Nepal. We are open to work together. And finally, On ASA too, my advice would be that we have some kind of a system updating our website and have the counter of misinformation. So for ASA too, my advice would be that we should have a science-based information to all of you. Thank you, Asa. Thank you, Lee. And thank you, Kim, Professor Kim, and my friends, Gulnar and everybody. Pleasure seeing you. Thank you very much and hope to see you again someday. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor Shinwari.